see it later or isn't able to be here. Okay, there we go. All right, can you guys give me a thumbs up? Can you see this?
Yep, all is good.
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
Oops. And oops, sorry, there we go. That'll work. All right, so just a quick overview for what we'll be talking about today. So we have 3 different sections. The first one is thinking about my time. So we'll go through thinking about how you actually spend your time. And that's a good way to start thinking about how to spend your time well. The second part, we'll talk about scheduling your time. And we have a few different strategies and tips and tricks for scheduling out your time so you can get everything done that you want to. And then the last one is thinking about how to manage your time and adjust it when things come up and things change. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, I quickly want to go through some expectations that we have for the call today. These are, I think you guys have probably seen these. A lot of you have been on these trainings before. But just quickly, be respectful of the person speaking, whether that's me or whether it's you guys sharing. Be respectful and listen. Engage in the class. It's a pretty short training today, so I hope that all of you are able to stay focused and participate, share as we have time for it. The next one is ask questions. You can feel free to put questions in the chat or you can raise your hand. And definitely, if you have any questions, for sure, stop us and we can get them answered. And then the last one is minimize distractions. So again, we're just here for an hour, so try to stay focused in, put your phone away if you need to, whatever it is. I think you've seen this before too. So this is something new that we've started working on, this term, the parking lot. So the parking lot is something that if you have an idea or a question, we might ask you to put it in the parking lot. And this doesn't mean that it's a bad idea or a bad question, but it just means that we might not have time to talk about it. Oh, and this is in the Health Messenger training, but in our leadership training today, it is just something that might not fit quite in with our topic, and so we'll save it for a later time. So if you have a place, you can write it down, and we'll get to it either at the end or at another time. An example of this might be a question related to USA Games.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, that is so fun, Devin.
So that's something that, while that's really important, it's not connected to our topic today. And so I might ask you to put that in the parking lot. And then just so you guys know, these are the expectations for me as the facilitator of our conversation today. So I will be prepared to teach today. I will really try to challenge everyone to learn something new. I will provide opportunities for everybody to be successful, support and engage in discussion, and if there are any questions, treat athletes, and if there are any mentors, with respect and care. And then the last one is to create an atmosphere of respect and joy. And if you guys, oops, sorry about that. If you can put yourselves on mute if you are not talking, that would be great, just so we can minimize some background noise. All right, so we're gonna get started with lesson 1, thinking about my time. So we will spend some time thinking about how each of you spend your time and discuss how you might want to change that. So you're using your time the way you want to. Detail on a few of them, but actually I will also send you all in a mail a list of all of these tips, so don't feel like you need to remember all of them. These are just a bunch of them, and we'll go into detail on a few. this day. This is really the first step in thinking about in the way here. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, sorry about that. So this is the first step towards getting better at managing your time. You might think that you only spend 30 minutes a day on social media, but once you go through and analyze your time, you might find that you're actually spending a couple of hours. So this is just the first step, figuring out how to spend your time better. The next one is setting time limits on your task. So putting limits on how much time you spend on each of your tasks helps you to focus. You could even use like a timer on your phone or an app. And that way you can decide that you're only going to spend 50 minutes on social media before you get started on work or something like that. The next one is using a to-do list. Sometimes this is a helpful tool to make sure that you get all of your tasks done. Breaking tasks into smaller tasks can be helpful. For example, if you want to get faster at running the 400-meter run by 10 seconds, that might sound like really a lot at first, but if you start it just by getting faster by 1 second at a time, that's a lot easier to do. Ahead, we're going to spend quite a bit of time on this one, thinking about how you can schedule out your day. Do the harder tasks first. For example, sometimes people are more productive in the morning, so they'll get their hard work done in the morning, and then you can save some of the easier things, the more fun things, for the afternoon. Stay focused. I know I sometimes have a hard time getting distracted by my phone or by email, and so really trying to put those distractions away and stay focused. Similar. Do less. It is okay to slow down and focus on just one thing at a time instead of trying to get a ton of things done. And then the last one is, it is okay to say no. I know, a lot of you are really involved athlete leaders and you do so much for Special Olympics, which is so awesome. And it's okay sometimes if it's just one too many. If we ask you to help out with something, it's just one too many thing on your plate. It's always okay to say no. Okay, so that was a lot of tips. As I said, I'm going to send those to you so you don't need to remember all of them. And now we're going to go into a few of them. Does anyone have any questions though before we go into analyzing your time? And I can't see everybody. You can feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question. Okay. So this first one, analyzing your time. So as I said, oh, Colton, I think your hand is raised. Go for it.
So what do you mean by like analyze your time?
That's a great question. Yeah, such a good question. So what I mean by that, actually, we're going to do it right now. Analyzing your time. So it means thinking about your time. And today we're just going to spend some time thinking about it. But what your homework is going to be is to actually start writing down what you do every day for a few days. So, for example, oh, awesome. Yeah. So, and we're going to kind of go through an exercise just so we can practice this together. So, this is an example. For a few days, we have the morning, afternoon, and evening. So this is what it might look like to start kind of doing a time diary, keeping track of how you spend your time. So, if we look at the Monday here, for example, this person, in the morning, they brushed their teeth, got dressed, had breakfast, and then went to work. In the afternoon, they had lunch, they had a meeting and a dentist appointment. In the evening, they had dinner, watched TV, talked to their friend, and took a shower. And then since they'd written it down, they noticed what surprised them. And here they said, I didn't have time to clean my bedroom like I planned. So that was something that they had wanted to do, but they just didn't quite have time for it. An example. So I need your guys' help. I found this fun looking lady. So I need your guys' help to give her a name. Does anyone have an idea?
She looks like a Pam.
A Pam. I like it. Okay, so this is Pam. And so we know a few things about Pam. She works on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the morning. Her hobby, all of you shared your hobbies. Her hobby is painting. And she likes to spend time with her friends. So she spent some time and she created a time diary or a time log. So she kept track of what she did. And yesterday she had breakfast and went to work in the morning. She had lunch with her friends and then went grocery shopping. And then in the evening she had dinner and she watched TV. So just by looking at some of the things we know about Pam, is there something that she maybe would have wanted to do that she didn't do?
She didn't do any painting.
Yeah, she didn't do any painting. So, maybe if Pam, if she'd planned out her schedule a little bit more, she could have found time to do some painting. So what I would like each of you to do is take just a few minutes, think to yourself, what did you do yesterday? So, you've already shared your hobbies, so you're thinking a little bit about what are the things you like to do. Now, but think about what you did yesterday. You can put it in the chat if you want to, or you can just think about it. And in a minute, I am going to ask you to share something that that surprises you, something that maybe you didn't want to do, but you spent time doing, or something that you might want to add in the future. So just take another minute. These are the questions. You'll each have just a few seconds to share. Think about what you did yesterday.
Can I go?
Yeah, so everyone will get a chance to share. So yeah, Devin, do you want to start? What's something that, so thinking about what you did yesterday, what's something that you might want to change for next time? Either something to add or something that you maybe want to take away.
Well, I am working, so I worked yesterday, so I do a lot of time management by writing down my times of when I get into work and when I am heading out.
That's awesome. Was there anything yesterday that you maybe did more of than you needed to, or that you want to add because you didn't get a chance to?
I want to do more challenging tasks, so that way I can be able to stay focused and not be distracted while I'm doing that task.
That's awesome. That's good reflection. Mm-hmm. Does anyone else want to share something that they noticed thinking back on their day yesterday? Colton and then Chance.
Yesterday I did chores with my helper. I cleaned the house.
Nice. That's really good. Was there anything that Chance, is there anything that you, thinking back on it now, you might want to, if you were to plan tomorrow, that you'd want to do differently?
Tomorrow I have Rotary.
Nice. So that's a really good thing that you'll fit into your schedule. That's good. Colton, what were you going to say?
In the morning, I took a shower, ate breakfast, went outside, did chores. And then from like 7:30 to 11:30, I work at the bus garage here in Othello.
That's awesome. It sounds like you had a really good, productive day.
And then from 11 to 12 o'clock, I had lunch with my friend from Connell. Then from 12:40 to 12 o'clock to 4:30, Xbox, and I did my chores. 5:30 to 7 o'clock, I had basketball practice. And 7:30 to 8 o'clock, I had dinner. 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I played Xbox with my friend. I spent 62 hours on TV.
Is that what surprised you about yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really good example. Let's see, Ariana and then Kaden.
Yesterday I babysit my niece. I babysit her 3 times, Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays
Oh, that's
from
great.
8:30 to 5 o'clock.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Yeah,
Wow,
and also
that's
take
great.
care of us. I have a whole bunch of rabbits to take care of too.
Wow.
They're
Was there
Flemish
anything?
And
Was there
then
anything that surprised you about how you spent your time yesterday?
it was a long time.
Yeah, really long time. So then, since you have a lot of your day sort of scheduled out, so that means that you really have to think if there's anything else you want to add in there.
And then I have
Yeah, that's
basketball
good.
tomorrow
Okay, wow, yeah.
from 6 to 7 tomorrow.
That's exciting though.
Mhm.
Kaden and then Sam.
So yesterday for me, I had a lot more schoolwork than usual. And so that's what surprised me. And what I want to do differently is I want to get stuff done sooner so I have more free time throughout the day.
That's a really good example. Thanks, Kaden. Sam?
So yesterday I watched a TV show with my dad.
Nice. Was there anything that surprised you yesterday about how you spent your time now that you're thinking about it?
To be honest, I don't know because it's just like the police case, like cops, cop kind of stuff.
The trailer?
Well, actually, it's just the whole program for the TV show
Oh,
for the
okay.
episode.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share? Rosemary?
Yeah, yesterday I started my day at 3:30 in the morning, went to work for
That is
7.
early.
And I work at Burger King for 21 years.
Wow.
And then I came home, had dinner, had to get ready and go to cheerleading. Then I came home and I had to shovel a spot, which was terrible for the garbage can so the garbage man can get in.
Wow, you had a full day. So
Yes.
was there anything that surprised you about yesterday now that you're thinking about it?
Not really, just shoveling surprised me because I didn't think I was
Yeah.
gonna have. My husband left it to.
Well, that's a really good example. We'll talk more about this, but Rosemary, that's a good example that, sometimes things come up that you didn't plan on that end up taking your time. And you have to be flexible. Okay, we're gonna keep going. So that's just to get us started. And your homework, I'm gonna send, I think some of you saw it. I sent ahead of time a few, it kind of looked like this, as schedules to track how you spend your time. It's okay if you haven't seen it because I'm gonna mail that to all of you. So you'll receive that. I'll send it off. You'll hopefully get that next week. And I'll send you a few things, but this will be one of them. So it's an option to start tracking your time. So for 1 week, you'll go through and just write down what you do in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and you can get a better sense of how you're spending your time. And these will be some of the questions for you to think about. All right, any questions before we move on? And again, I can't see you, so you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask if you have a question. Okay, so this next section, we're going to talk about scheduling your time. So we just talked about how you're spending your time, and now we'll think about how you can use your time better. So we'll review some tools and different techniques for managing your time, and then how to apply those. So calendars can be a helpful way for you to plan ahead and making sure that you have enough time for everything. So if there was something from your time log that we just talked about, how you spent your time yesterday, if there is something that you thought maybe you'd want to spend less of your time doing, or something that maybe took you longer than you were expecting, Or if there's something that you want to spend more of your time doing, like our example with Pam, we thought she probably would want to spend more time painting. Or if you didn't get to do your hobby yesterday and you would like to have more time for it, like what Kaden said, scheduling out your time is maybe a good way to make sure that you have an opportunity to fit everything in. So here's an example of what this might look like. So, you know, if we just look at Monday here, this person is deciding that they'll do their morning routine and go to work and check their emails. They want to make sure they have time to work on their project before lunch. Then they have a meeting and the dentist appointment. And then time to make dinner and clean the kitchen before they socialize and watch TV. So we're going to do this for our friend Pam. So I have a few things. We know that she goes to work. She's a few things she needs to do. She needs to clean the house and she needs to make dinner. So similar, you know, Rosemary mentioned she ended up having to shovel the driveway. Or, you know, Kaden mentioned that he had some work he had to do. So there are some things that we have to do. And then there are a few things that she wants to do. She wants to paint. She, of course, wants to do athlete leadership. And she wants to talk to her friend on the phone. So I'm going to go out of screen sharing mode. Can you guys all still see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we were, so knowing what Pam needs to do, let me see if I can move this. What should we add into her schedule here?
One thing I can think of is like, you know, the time that she goes to walk or things like that. I mean, the way I do it is I basically schedule the times that I do my meetings at. I mean, if she was to go to walk at a certain time and then come home at a certain time, probably she could get enough of that stuff, like the cleaning house and making dinner on time, if like 2:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So probably something like in that nature.
Yeah, Jeff, that was a really good way to think about it. So let's see. So what she goes to work in the morning. So what time do you think she probably gets to work?
Probably around 8:30.
Yeah, okay. So let's say she gets there around 8 and maybe she works till like 12 or so.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to work. So 8 to 12, okay. And so then at 12, what should we have her do?
Come home clean.
What was that? Go ahead. You can, I can't see everyone, so you can go ahead and blurt it out.
Come home and clean the house.
Okay, nice. So we can have her, that's a good time for her to clean the house. Nice. So let's see, when should we have her make dinner? When makes sense for that?
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Good idea.
Make dinner. You know what we could do here? Let's see, this will, I think, make it even clearer. Oops, maybe not that. We do.
You know, she could always combine things too. Like talk to her friend
Ooh.
while she's making dinner.
Ooh, I like that. That's a really good thought. So if we, let's see, let's make dinner, maybe that's, you know, maybe make dinner and eat dinner. So it takes a little bit. So you're right. So talking on the phone to her friend, we have to fit that somewhere. And we have athlete leadership to fit in and paint. Oh, Devin, I see you raise your hand.
Well, how about her lunchtime? She needs to have lunch as well in her schedule.
Oh, Sam said that too. That's a good idea. So what do you guys think? Should that after
Yeah.
clean the house or before?
Before.
Before,
So you
okay.
sit there to pass out.
Yeah, seriously. We don't want her to pass out. Okay, so lunch, good idea. Okay, this one's gonna be purple. lunch, clean the house. And nice. So we could have her talking to her friend on the phone while she's making dinner, or we could put it somewhere else. What do you guys think?
While she's eating, or while she's making dinner.
Nice. Okay.
That way,
Make
she has time
dinner,
for other stuff.
talk to friend. I like that.
Yep.
Okay. And then we have paint and athlete leadership. Where do you think we should add these in?
I think after they start to go like around 4 p.m.ish.
Yeah.
Cool. And how much time do you think she's going to need for that?
In about an hour.
Hour?
Yeah.
So maybe 4 to 5?
Mhm.
Nice. Okay. And then what are we missing?
The paint.
Painting.
Painting.
Painting. Where can we put that?
From 2 to 4, it gives her a good couple hours to paint.
I
Or she
like
could
it.
do it.
2 to
Yeah.
4
Oops.
before her meeting.
Nice. And then she has the evening if she has anything else she needs to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. I love it. We fit it all in. This looks really good, guys. Anything to change?
No.
No.
I like it. Okay.
The only thing that I would say wrong with it is you're missing the transition times.
Oh, Cassandra, that's a really good point. Sometimes that takes way more time than you think. So what we could always do is we could, maybe we add in a bit of time in between all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have to push dinner back or something. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say wait until after the leadership classes or meetings or or over, then have dinner, because that way, the way I kind of look at it, like if I have meetings at like 6:30 with King County, then I wait until after the meeting's over and then I have dinner. So that's way you could do it that way too. So
that's good. So you're being flexible. And does that then you're not rushed before your meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really good. So you've obviously really thought about it. That's good. So, okay, I'm gonna keep going here. So now I want you guys to spend a few minutes thinking about your day tomorrow. So what are some things that you have to do tomorrow? What are some things that you want to do tomorrow? So you don't have to schedule out your whole thing, but just think about a few things that you want to do. And in a minute, I'm going to ask you, what did you add that maybe you didn't do yesterday? What's something that you're going to add to tomorrow to make sure that you have time to fit it in? So it's one thing that you're going to add to tomorrow. And I'll send you guys a calendar so you'll be able to fill out your schedule just like we did for our friend Pam. So would anyone like to share? I think Chance, I saw your hand.
Tomorrow I'm going to get up and do my chores tomorrow.
That's awesome. So you're going to get it done right away in the morning. That's a really good plan. Does anyone else want to share? Rosemary and then Sam?
Yeah, I'm going to get up and go to work, and then I have to get up and after work and go to physical therapy.
That's good. So you're fitting stuff in. Are you going to have time to do something fun tomorrow?
Tomorrow, not really, because after physical therapy, I got to go grocery shopping.
So you have a busy day tomorrow. So hopefully you can get all that done, and maybe the following day you'll have some time. Let's see. Sam, did you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so for tomorrow, I can do like run for exercise, and I can do like taking my lunch in the afternoon, and then I can watch movie on the afternoon and make dinner at nighttime, and I watch a TV show at night.
Nice. I love it. You fit in your exercise and food and relaxing. That's awesome.
Can I
Let's
share
see.
my schedule?
Yes, Devin, and then Cassandra, and then Colton,
Go. Well,
and
tomorrow
Ariana.
am working from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I come home and I exercise, and then I do best buddies in the evening.
Nice. So you've got work, you're prioritizing exercise, and then you have some other things that you enjoy doing. That's great. Cassandra.
Tomorrow I have to work. I work in the afternoon though.
Okay.
And I work at Safeway, so my work
Nice.
is really my exercise. I
I bet you must be on your feet all the time.
I burn a lot of calories, constantly hungry. I'm a courtesy clerk, so it's easy to burn a lot of calories doing what I do. But
That's great.
that leaves me the morning to do kind of whatever I want. I'm thinking I might get in some reading. My problem is that I never prioritize. Reading is how I get my me time,
Yeah.
and I haven't been able to really get that. It makes me a little
Well,
bit cranky.
that's so important to recognize that, that's really important to you, and that, sometimes I get the same way. If I don't prioritize time for myself, I can get cranky too. And that's really good to notice. And then you can start trying to make sure you fit it in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and do that tomorrow morning before I go to work.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm the
Okay.
same, but I'm the same way too, Cassandra. I'm also a courtesy clerk as well at PCC, and when I go to work and I come home, I just do laundry when I have free time. So
Yeah, that's also something I do a lot of. Gosh.
Let's see. Colton, Ariana, and then Megan.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going in from like 8:30 to 9:30. Then I come home, have lunch. Then I'm going to food bake from 11:30 to 2:30. And then then come home, do my chores, I go to church at night because I go Sundays and Wednesdays. And then come home, watch the TV, go to bed.
It's good. It sounds like you have a full day tomorrow, but
Yeah.
you're fitting a lot in. That's great.
Yeah.
Ariana, and then Megan. Ariana, what are you gonna fit into your schedule tomorrow?
Tomorrow I get up and eat breakfast, and then I have to help my grandma walk her dog. And
Nice.
I also have to help babysit my little brother. And then I have basketball from 6 to 7.
Oh, nice. So you also full schedule tomorrow, but you're gonna fit it all in. That's good.
Yeah.
Megan, how about you?
Well, tomorrow my schedule is like, I'll be waking up, eat breakfast, all that basic stuff, and then going to the gym tomorrow morning.
Nice.
And then tomorrow afternoon working with my job coach, and then come home, maybe play some video games or watch TV, eat dinner.
Nice. You've got all the, really the things you have to do, and then fitting in some time to relax. It's good. Awesome. And I saw Andrew put in the chat that he plans to go on a walk, and then in the afternoon he has a Zoom class. That's great. Okay, so we're gonna keep going here. I want to make sure we have enough time. I can't believe how quickly time flies. So we have a quick video. I'm gonna make sure you guys can hear this. Let's see. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can skip a little bit here.
Imagine this jar represents all the time you have in a week. The pebbles represent the urgent task in a week, and the sand represents all the little activities that take up our time, such as sending email, texting, surfing the web, or watching online videos. The rocks represent our goals for the week, such as classes, going to work, studying for an exam, or writing a paper. Without a plan, our jar gets full quickly. And there is no
I
room
can
for
say
our
I need to
goals.
go. Okay.
But if we put our big rock in first,
Yeah.
there is still room for the urgent task.
Okay.
As well as the small daily activities. Use a time budget
All right. So I think Jeff said this
sheet
pretty
to
well.
help you.
Oops. Jeff said this pretty well that, he starts with the things that he knows he has to do, like work, or those big items. And then we did this with Pam's schedule. We fit in her work and the things we know she had to do, and then we were able to fit in painting and athlete leadership around them. So this is just one tool. This is one option for how you might want to think about your schedule. If you don't want to plan it out by the hour, this is another way to think about it. And I'll make sure to send you guys this too. Now this is another one I wanted to show you. So this could be kind of like a to-do list in a way, but this is a way to write out, to just start to keep track of all the things you have to do. So if you know you have to go to work, you might want to write down some notes about what time you have to get there. Maybe you have things that you have to bring to get to work. If you have an athlete leadership meeting, there might be notes about what you need to bring or things you might need to do before you get there. So this is another way that you might want to organize your time. And I'll send you a copy of this too. So now I'm curious to hear from you guys. Is there one of these that you think would work best for you? Or are there other techniques that you've used to help you manage your time? Does anyone have anything to share on that?
I guess I can go. I love
Yeah.
the rocks, the pebbles, and the sand coordinates, and the very last one as well.
Yeah. Is there anything that, do you do any of that already? Or is there anything that you do?
I do, but I
instead?
also have a plan as well, which I just got over the weekend.
Oh,
which
nice.
Also has been helpful to do like monthly planning and to plan ahead. And that's how
That's
I
really
do
good.
things.
I love it. Does anyone else want to share?
The way I do, sorry, interrupt. The way I do it is that I basically just look at my phone and like the dates on the meetings and stuff that I have to be at. I just record those in my phone and then I say, oh, I have a meeting this date and I mean that date. And so that's how I kind of plan my days. So that way I have free time in between.
That's good. So you use it in a calendar? That's really good. And so when do you
Me
go
too.
look at your calendar? You do too, Andrew? That's awesome. That's what I usually use too. I have a
That's
calendar.
why I know that we always do us.
Yeah. And so do you go and look at it like every day to make sure you know what's coming up?
Yeah, I do.
You too, Andrew?
Yep. I make sure, okay, I forgot to do stuff. I have been.
Those are really good techniques. Ariana?
I do the same thing. I put it in my calendar, my phone.
Yeah. That's awesome. So that seems like it works really well. Devin, how about you?
And too, I would like to show something actually, which
Oh yeah.
in this plan, they have like a goal tracker to help with tracking goals as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
That's awesome. So that sounds a little bit similar to the graph we were just looking at with the different tasks?
Yeah, and this is also my calendar that I like to plan on monthly.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. And everyone has a different thing that works for them. And so, I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna mail the ones we just talked about, and you guys can try them out, see what works for you. They're just different options. But it's it's really cool hearing that everyone has kind of different ways that they like to keep themselves on track. All right, we have just a little bit more, and I have another question for you guys. So, oops, I skipped ahead too far. So, I think it was Rosemary who had the example that, yesterday she ended up having to shovel the driveway for the garbage truck, and she wasn't planning on doing that. And sometimes things come up that we weren't expecting in our schedule. So sometimes, we really like to practice being flexible and doing some problem solving. So one example of this is, if you have a Special Olympics meeting that is not usually in your schedule, how do you add it in? What do you do? And are there some tips that you could give us, or maybe ones that we just mentioned that might help you? That's just one example. Or if there's other things that come up that you maybe weren't expecting, or that doesn't normally fit into your daily schedule, like this training. Colton?
Well, sometimes when I have people go over, it kind of messes my schedule. There's stuff I need to get done, and stuff that it's kind of hard to get done because you have to entertain stuff, and that can cause kind of you'd be not be able to complete your task. So you have to kind of balance.
That's a really good example.
Entertain your guests and try to get everything done. It's kind of
that's such an example. You're right. Yeah. You have to balance. You have to kind of prioritize, because it's fun to have people over. It's fun to see friends. But you're right. Sometimes that changes your schedule. Maybe you go to bed later, or you don't get your chores done or something. That's a really good example.
I guess.
Does anyone else? Oh, go ahead.
I am always flexible with my schedule since I get off work around 2:00, so I'm able to be at Athlete Leadership Council meetings, be able to take notes for them, making sure that everything is already planned out and planned ahead of time. So I am pretty good at being flexible with my schedule.
What are you doing?
Problems at work as well.
That's good. And Devin, I heard you say earlier that you make sure you exercise right when you get home, so you have time to fit all of that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to here next Tuesday.
That's awesome. Well, that's great. Okay, we're almost wrapped up here, which is crazy. So I'm gonna share my screen again. So I'm gonna send you a packet in the mail, and over the next month, I want you to think about using some of these different techniques that we talked about today. So just try them out. Think about what went well with those different techniques, what didn't work so well with them, or where you had challenges organizing your schedule and managing your time. And then think about how you can schedule your time really well, so that not only are you fitting in the rocks, the things that you have to do, and some of the other things that you want to do with your time, but then really this is an important thing to fit leadership into your schedule. So all of you are already really impressive athlete leaders, really successful, and I know all of you have really awesome goals for what you want to do as leaders. And this is a really good way to make sure you're fitting in the different meetings and trainings that you want to do, so that you can continue on your leadership journey. And just a few last thoughts. So, everyone, as I said, everyone manages their time differently. So you will figure out what works best for you. We heard a lot of really good examples from all of you. You guys already do this really well. So this is just another way for you to continue to improve and be even better with your time. We learned today that it's important to block out time for your most important tasks first. And then add in those smaller activities and tasks. Always make sure you're scheduling time for your goals. It's really important to have a work-life balance. You know, we talked about, fitting in work and the chores that everyone has to do, but it really is important to make sure that you have time for you. We heard that, I heard reading and working out and watching TV. Those are all great ways to relax and just spend some time for yourself. And it's really important to make sure that you fit that in. And then lastly, as we just talked about, unexpected events do come up, and it's okay if you don't get everything done that you plan to. Sometimes we have to change things as new random events come up. And that's always okay. And that's actually a leadership skill too, that problem solving and being flexible. So I'm going to mail you a packet, which will have, it'll have the time diary, it'll have a calendar, it'll have the tips that we talked about, as well as some of those other techniques. So you will receive that in the mail in the next week or so. And you can let me know if you have any questions. And I'd love to hear about how those different go. And then we'll be doing another athlete leadership module in about a month on February 8th. It'll be similar to this, but it'll be about an hour and we'll focus on one topic. The topic is going to be advocacy, and Devin is actually going to be helping to co-host that training. This one was just me hosting, but in the future we'll have all of our trainings will be co-hosted with more athlete leaders running these trainings. And I hope you all will be able to make it to that one as well. Does anyone have any questions? Ariana.
Do we need our addresses out in the chat for you, or for you to mail?
I think I have
or?
yours. Yeah, that's a great question, because guys, I was silly. I realized that I didn't ask for your addresses in the registration, so I will in the future. I think I should have all of your addresses, and if not, I have your email, so I'll ask you if I need it. Thanks, Ariana.
Okay.
Great. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording.